Alright guys, now is the time to start understanding what monitoring is. Monitoring is nothing but listening back to what the input is. What I mean by that is if you if I click arm here, right, and this is a condition that needs to happen, and if I click monitoring, which is here, record monitoring, which is currently off, and I'll show you actually in the default theme as well, because the button gets messed up here and there. It is here, right, monitoring. So if I turn this on, so now we're in the default theme. So I will click on arm first, and then I will click on monitoring being on. So when I say monitoring is on, I can put on my headphones, and what it will do, it will start giving me the audio output in my headphones. Given, and make sure that you have put the volume for the headphones on in your audio interface. All right, so that, why is it necessary? Well, number one is that when you're making creative decisions, for example, like with the guitar tone or what you want to sound like, and whether how far away you're from the mic while singing, all of these things, you need to realize that as a music producer, you'll put on your headphones, you'll listen to the audio that is coming in from the input, which is the mic, so that you can make sure that you're doing the right thing. That is why monitoring comes in handy. Especially this comes in handy when you're recording electric instruments like electric guitar and electric bass guitar. Why? Because, well, then you can't listen to it on electric guitar by yourself, like, because it's not plugged in. So when you plug it in, this is the only way that you will be listening to yourself. Of course, that's not the only way, but since I do not have a speaker setup or stereo speaker setup at all, I am going to rely on my headphones to give me the feedback that I need, so that I can take create the best audio track for my guitars as well. So this is something that you'll get used to, so it'll come to you at your own preferences. These days I do not monitor my vocals, which is very good. I mean, very good. I've become habitual to it. I know exactly, if I look at the levels, which I told you in levels and gains lesson, if I look at the levels and the gains, which you can see right now yourself as well, is going to allow you to just like get a clear idea even before you record. So I just kind of hit record these days and just go for it. I don't really do that input. Second, I don't like to listen to my own voice when I'm recording my own vocals. So that is a preference. So if you can do it, wonderful, but it throws me off a lot, and I don't prefer to do that. Now you'll notice there are three modes for in Reaper for monitoring. It is currently off, then it is on when you can hear yourself in the headphones or the whatever the speaker is, and then if you click again, it is at auto. I never use auto. I don't even know what it does. Why? Because I don't really care what it does. I don't know if other softwares have three modes as well, but I think in Logic it was just on and off. Click here again, and now it is not monitoring, and this. And remember, you need to have it armed in order for you to monitor it. So that has been the chapter on monitoring. So now if you wish to, I suggest, why don't you try recording something for yourself and try to, now you know what BPM is, you know what snap you know what snapping does, you know how to loop things, you know how to set up your audio interface, you know, you've come this far where you can record your own audio now. So why don't you give it a try and start recording your audio and start color coding them in different parts. So it doesn't, don't worry about the quality of it or the levels or the gains too much. Make sure that you're doing your best. And in this week, why don't we just, you've like absorbed a lot of knowledge from my end about the hardwares and all these things, so that's why I wanted to keep this part very easy for you, which is you just have to take care of level and gains, and then you need to take care of monitoring if the need arises and the situation calls for it. Try everything, and then go home and start your computer and start recording your own music. So this is essentially it. And in the next week course, in the next week we'll learn about other things, but for now I hope you've understood everything. If you have any questions, send me a DM on Instagram at Sagar Plays Guitar, and I hope that you sit down and record some audio for yourself now. Take care.